Tonight's 8 Lights is brought to you by Mehadrin, king of kosher dairy. Mehadrin serves your family high-quality cheeses, yogurts, ice creams, and more. Always fresh, always full of flavor. Check the fridge at your local store for Mehadrin's line of premium dairy products.
What makes this Yontif, this holiday of Chanukah, what's different about this, special about this, unique about this, more than any other Yontif, or any other mitzvah for that matter? There's something very special about Chanukah, and that's obviously lighting the menorah. When you light the menorah, it's done in a very public way, whereas all the other mitzvahs and all the other Yom Tovim, we sit by Pesach, we sit by the Seder, and the Seder is inside your house, and you blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, and you're doing it in the shul. And even Sukkot, when you have the sukkah outside, there's no mitzvah or obligation for you to bring the sukkah to the front of your house. Whereas menorah, you put it right in front of your window, right in front, so that the whole world should see. It's an amazing thing. Even more, we have in Al Nisim, it says about how they would light the menorah in the courtyard. They lit the menorah in the courtyard, whereas in the base of Mikdash, usually, the menorah is being lit over there. Why would you do it outside in the courtyard? Why such a public way? The story I heard from Mordechai Kamenetsky, it's a beautiful story, about a person that is walking down the street. Somebody comes over to him and says, "Please, we need you for a minyan, we need you for a minyan." So he goes into the house, it's a Shiva house. And in the Shiva house he sees 4 people. And these 4 people are brothers, obviously. And they don't seem religious, per se. And when he looks around the room, he sees a mezuzah that was obviously rubbed and kissed 1,000,000 times. And he sees svarim that were all worn and torn and used, and with handwritten notes, with a pair of tefillin sitting there on the table, obviously again worn and used. So he sees that obviously the mace, the person that was nifter, obviously was somebody that was a very frum person, a tzaddik, you can tell. And yet he sees the 4 sons are sitting there and they're not necessarily religious. So he had to ask. And the younger son says, "My father was a Holocaust survivor. And during the Holocaust, and during that time, everybody did mitzvahs in secret and in private. They were always very nervous that something will happen. There was no such thing as doing things in a public way. So you would daven in a closet, and you would learn or go to yeshiva in some side room somewhere." So after the Holocaust, when he came to America, even though it was the land of the free, he would wake up early in the morning before he went to work, and he would come into this room, and he would learn, and he would daven. He would do all the mitzvahs that he would do, and he'd do it in an incredible way, and he would just sit there, and he would close the door, and that's what he would do. He would sit there, and then when he'd go to work, he'd come back late at night, really tired, and go back into the room, and again, daven and learn and do whatever he was doing. And this is how he did it through all those years of his life, and us as children never really saw anything that he did. So in a way, we just, after a while, we said, just sort of lost interest, and we just never picked it up. We see by Chanukah it's the same thing. We know that the Gemara says about why we spin the dreidel, that the kids would sit and learn, and they would sit there with the sefer, and when the Greeks would come, they would throw the sefer away and hide it, and bring out the dreidel and start, like they were playing with the dreidel. It was done in secret. So when this happened, not only are we celebrating the nace of Chanukah, the fact that we have the oil that burnt for 8 days, and the fact that we won the Greeks, and all these nisim that happen, but we're doing it, we're trying to show our children and show everybody that not only do we want to do our mitzvahs, but we want to do it in a public way, in a beautiful way, and that's what we're trying to show our children and show the world. And with that light, really, is what really makes the light of Chanukah. So, afraid of Chanukah.